Hey folks, this is Matt Doyle, MLSsoccer.com's armchair analyst, here to preview the World Cup qualifier on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern between the U.S. and Guatemala down in Guatemala City. Key number one is going to be the U.S. back line, specifically the left back area. Fabian Johnson is going to be a game-time decision. His backup, Edgar Castillo, has been ruled out. Jose Torres, who played as an emergency left back against Antigua and Barbuda, another game-time decision. Does that mean Carlos Boganacre, who's been the anchor of the central defense, was going to push over to the left? We could see that he was effective there for the last 20 minutes of that game against Antigua. However, that leaves a question for the central defense, which has been a sore spot for the U.S. for the past couple of years. Clarence Goodson has looked pretty decent, but beside him, does it mean we're going to see Gucci Onyewu again? After his performances against Brazil and against Antigua and Barbuda, where he was absolutely burned on the Bena Boys' only goal, I think most fans are hoping that we actually don't get to see Gooch in the red, white, and blue. I think there are a lot of calls for Jeff Cameron, and there should be. Point number two is the lack of cutting edge in the final third that the U.S. showed against Antigua and Barbuda. They have to be more aggressive down in Guatemala, or they are going to come back with nothing. Landon Donovan, Clinton Dempsey, Herculez Gomez, all these guys had plenty of looks, but all were hesitant to pull the trigger at one point or another. Gomez ended up being the star with a goal and an assist, and he really did put in a solid game, but you have to wonder how much better he would look if he was playing his more natural position as a second striker. Putting in Jozy Altidore could give Gomez that freedom. Altidore is not a great finisher himself, but he eats up space, he occupies defenders, he's a great passer. So that could open up some of the better shooting lanes for the guys like Dempsey, Donovan, Gomez, Michael Bradley. Altidore's presence could give them more time, more space, better looks, and if the U.S. have that, there's a better chance of them putting up multiple goals. And number three, of course, when you play Guatemala, you always know gamesmanship is going to be a factor. Their best player is called El Pescadito, the little flopping fish. That's Carlos Ruiz. You know him well if you're an MLS fan. Anytime they get within 30 yards of the box and you breathe on them, they will go down. Anytime the ref isn't looking, they will kick you, they will elbow you. If it's a 50-50 ball, they will go in elbows up, they will put a shoulder into your jaw, they will kick you in the head, as Tim Howard learned 4 years ago, as Casey Keller learned, I think about 10 years ago now. The U.S. have to be tough, they have to be rugged, but they have to be smart. They can't commit any borderline fouls. If they are, a foul is going to be a yellow is going to be straight red. The U.S. just have to be professional. They have to be the big brother in this one and not allow Guatemala's theatrics to get into their heads. If they don't do that, then the U.S. are going to play 10 versus 11, or worse, 9 versus 11. Don't rule it out.